So, a few days ago, the media space was occupied with the news that Reno Omokri brought two persons from America to counter the statement of Senator Ted Cruz. You know, Senator Ted Cruz in America, he said that Nigeria is keeping quiet over the killing of Christians. He calls it genocide against Christians in Nigeria. And Reno Omokri, the president's friend, someone that is a strong supporter of this administration, decided to do something by going to America to bring two persons to counter Ted Cruz and show to the world that, see, there is no persecution of Nigerian Christians. There's nothing like that. But it turned out at the press conference to be that one of the persons that Reno brought, Mike Arnold, embarrassed Reno at the press conference. There's no better way to describe it than that he embarrassed Reno Omokri. So we ask a few questions here. What can Reno do? This is Reno Omokri. What can he do under the law to Mike Arnold? Can he sue him for defamation of character? Can he? What Mike has said, does it qualify for defamation of character? If he does that, what is expected of him to prove? If Reno goes to court now, what is expected of Reno to prove? And Mike would also defend himself. So what would be the likely defense to Mike Arnold if this matter goes to the courts? You know, Reno has been very quiet all along. He has not responded to what Mike Arnold said. So no one knows whether he's planning to take Mike to court or something, or whether he has decided to just let it go. So we look at the law, right? This is Reno. This is Mike Arnold. Mike Arnold at the press conference did say that he has visited Nigeria several times, that this is not his first time of visiting Nigeria. And this is Reno Omokri, obviously Mike's friend for a couple of years. On the 15th day of October 2025, Mike Arnold, on his official Twitter handle, that is X handle, made a statement, published a statement and called it Full Statement of Facts from Official Fact-Finding Mission sponsored by at Reno Omokri. He calls Reno sleazy Omokri, pathological liar, will go down in history as the Joseph Goebbels of the Nigerian Christian genocide. That his paid reporters are saying that debunked claims of genocide. Now, this is what he has published, okay? He said, Reno does not lie, does not tell lies like most liars. He says he lies calm, cool, and constant. Right? Up close, he's reptilian, chilling, soulless, that's without a soul, yet so charming. This is how Mike described Reno, right? Once he posted a video flaunting luxury cars, claiming they were his own. He now says, 2 of those cars belonged to a friend of mine, not Reno. Reno visited, rode in them, filmed them, and claimed ownership on social media. Total fabrication by Reno. I stayed quiet then, but started watching closely. Right? These are the things that he said against Reno Omokri. On my recent fact-finding trip about Nigeria's persecution crisis, he promised to have a meeting with Tinubu, National Security Advisor Ribadu, and the Sultan of Sokoto. None of these happened. Right? He goes on to say, he has said that here on his birthday, he promised to bring Jonathan. He never brought Jonathan, and people just disappeared from the birthday celebration. Now, he said that on this paragraph, he said that they traveled for 30 hours, arrived, and Reno just moved them in for a photo op and then told them not to disclose that they just arrived. On live TV, he called me the current mayor of Blanco, Texas. That was false. He knows that it is false. He also said that I'm a Republican mayor. Mike then said, we don't even have partisan municipal elections. I haven't been active in any party for 30 years. He claimed, I am a personal friend to Ted Cruz. He knows that that is false. I only shook hands with Ted Cruz many years ago. He goes on to say, Reno introduced my travel companion as a prominent Republican filmmaker. That's not true. Reno was lying. My friend does hobby projects, nothing major in decades. I don't know if he has any political party. How do you know if Reno Omokri is lying? Mike says his lips are moving. This isn't bitterness, it is accountability from me, Mike. When someone denies genocide, twists the truth, and poses as a Christian voice, character matters. He now quotes the Bible about punishment for anybody who does that. He said, Reno, I don't hate you, but I can't cover for you. Lying to inflate yourself is one thing. Lying to cover up Christian genocide raging in Nigeria is a breach too far. He has made further description of Reno Omokri. Okay, he calls Reno a pathological liar, habitual, calculating, self-serving liar. Okay, he says if Reno does not repent, he will go down. He said Reno is gaslighting a nation while Christians and innocent Nigerians suffer. Right? He has further given other descriptions of Reno Omokri, that most Nigerians view him as a perpetually flip-flopping court jester, but with his latest flip into the killing field, he's now more like Stephen King's IT, an evil clown in the gutter, luring innocent Nigerians to their death. So the man has said so many damaging things about Reno Omokri. So many. He has published it and he has done it. You know, the publication has been quite frequent these days following that press conference. Now, this is Mike also on his Twitter page, his X handle, verified X handle here. And he has posted a pictorial description of Reno Omokri saying that he lies, that he spins, and that he lives in denial. He denies a lot of things and then calls it truth is the enemy to Reno Omokri. Now we ask the question, let's unpack it all, right? What says the law? We look at the circumstance. The publication, okay, by Mike Arnold against Reno Omokri. We look at it all. What says the law? What can Reno do? What defense does Arnold have? Because Arnold will certainly also have his own defense. The allegation, that is the statements made against Reno, are weighty and quite damaging of Reno's reputation. There are not too much about that. So Reno can approach the courts against Mike Arnold. He can get lawyers to file a suit calling for retraction of the statement and also asking the court to award monetary damages against Arnold in millions of dollars. He can do that because, like it or not, a lot has been said about his character. Now, the other question is, if Reno is suing him, is suing Mike, what will be the appropriate venue? Must he go to the United States where Mike stays, or he can sue him in Nigeria? The answer is he can sue him in Nigeria. He doesn't need to go to the US. Arnold made the statements here in Nigeria. He made it in Abuja and can readily be taken to any high court at the FCT, the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. The fact that he's an American citizen does not matter. The fact that he stays in America does not also matter. What matters is where he stood to make the statement that Reno is describing as defamatory. So if he's sued here in Nigeria, the papers will be served on him in the United States of America. And I am sure that Arnold will not just keep quiet for the court proceedings to go on without his appearance and without sending a lawyer. So if this matter goes to court, certainly Arnold looks like someone that will send a lawyer to defend him and possibly also come to Nigeria to defend. So it answers the question that the appropriate venue to sue Arnold, if Reno decides to do so, is here in Nigeria, particularly the Federal Capital Territory. But note that truth is a complete defense in a case of defamation of character. If the person that you are accusing of defaming you comes up with the truth, Okay? Someone says you're a criminal, you're an ex-convict, and then you charge him to the court. And the person comes to court with a certified true copy of a judgment of a court that shows that you had stolen, you had been taken to the court, and you had been found guilty. That's total defense to defamation of character. So the person has no case to answer. So truth is a complete defense in a charge of defamation of character. And that means that if Mike Arnold has all the facts to support his statement and then takes it to the court, presents it, that Lamborghini that we saw, he has the facts to show that it is truly his friend that had that vehicle and that it's not Reno. And Reno does not have the purchase receipt to support his claim. That means that Arnold has called him a serious goal in that match. So truth is a total defense. If Arnold can also prove that Reno is a liar, pathological liar, and then gives instances of the lies of Reno, it therefore means that Arnold has defended his case in court if this matter goes to court, and his major defense is truth. And in law, truth is a complete defense to the charge of defamation of character. So it will now be left for Reno to show evidence to counter what Arnold has said. If he doesn't show evidence to counter, then such cases, have to be decided against him, because truth is a defense, total, complete defense to the charge of defamation of character, and it is left for both parties to show evidence in proof of their respective sides. If Reno does not have facts to counter Arnold, my advice to Reno would be, don't even start a legal fight. Don't start it. If you know that this man has facts and you don't have facts to counter, you don't have evidence to counter him, my advice would be, don't just start the legal fight. This is Arnold. Okay, this is Mike Arnold. This is Reno Omokri, the president's friend and supporter, die-hard supporter. Anything that happens in this country, Reno comes on board to defend the president, right? Or any official of government. So in his own right, he's a die-hard supporter of the president. It's just that this one went sour. This one went bad. And Mike Arnold did not give the impression that he was going to say anything unacceptable. He never gave the impression that he was going to say anything embarrassing. He just came, lifted his jacket, brought out a document to the surprise of everyone. I'm sure Reno never knew that he came with a document in his jacket, and I started reading it. So this one went sour. This one went embarrassing. And this is someone Reno brought. I think he called him a chairman of whether the Muslim or Christian something, right? And this is the person that came with Arnold, an American citizen also, but he's not the person that did the embarrassment. It is Mike Arnold here that did the embarrassment. It is left for Reno Omokri to decide whether to go to court or whether not to go to court. Like I said, if he has that conviction that, his character has been defamed, and he has facts to support that his character has been defamed, he can go to court and ask for retraction and also ask for payment of damages, because as it is now, this man has really said something that impinges on his character. If Reno appears in a public gathering now, I'm sure one or two persons will ask him when he's going to respond to what Mike Arnold said. If he proves that Mike Arnold has defamed him, he's entitled to retraction and payment of damages to him, possibly in dollars. But if Mike has evidence to prove his allegations against Reno, then Mike has no case in a court of law. Many thanks for watching, and do remember always to share my video with friends and loved ones.